Alright, part 2. After we have imported the sprites. So this is setting up the cameras and getting it to follow the player. Right now we have this, and this is kind of like clipping through the player, so I'm actually going to move this down just a little bit. There we go. Now, one thing to keep in mind, this has a mesh collider. We don't really need that. I don't think these have rigid bodies. They do have a rigid body. Okay, so we do need that. My bad, guys. So how do we get it where the player doesn't move through these? Because I can already tell you now, that's exactly what the player is going to do. And this looks kind of weird inside the camera, so either there's a directional light or one of y'all is messing with me. We have point light, which I'm going to set the intensity of this to 10. Okay, that's not it. Let me just type in light. So it's literally just those two lights that I have. And intensity 0.5. So that's set correctly. But why isn't the point light? What am I missing here? So we look at our cameras. We have main camera. And we have our sprite cam. Those look correct, but what we're seeing in here is not correct. So I'm actually going to type in cam. And those are definitely the only two that we have in here. So main camera is base. And sprite cam. Okay, so here's what's going on. We have the main camera as base, but the sprite camera actually needs to be set as an overlay. There we go. That looks a lot better. A bit dark for my taste, but you know what? It's whatever. So I'm actually going to set this back up to 40. You know what? Yeah, I'm going to set that up to 40. I'm actually going to increase the crap out of its range. I'm just going to bring it up and move it over. Control day. Move it over. Control day. And one more time. There we go. Beautiful. So yeah, as I was saying, the player can move, but the player is going to move right through these. We want the player to be able to interact with this because this is in front of the player. And so now we get to start on scripting. Well, the first type of script I want to make is a cam script. So this way, whenever we move, the camera will follow the player. So this will be called camera follow script. Wait for that. Open this up in Visual Studio. Any day now. Yep. I got me another. Oh, wait, I still have Diet Cola. Yay. And I'm also going to work on the player script as well. So I'll do all that here in just a little bit. Alright, so here we are. Y'all know how I feel about this. If you don't, you should by now. I hate this crap in the middle, so I get rid of it. So the first thing we want to do is we're going to need an update because we want to check every single frame and make sure the camera is following the player. How do we do that? Well, very simply, we need to get the camera position, and we do that using transform. Okay, so we're going to type in transform. What are we transforming? Let me go and create a serialized field. Well, we need the camera transform because it's going to follow the camera. And we need the player transform because we need the position of the camera to follow the player. Bleh. So we're actually going to say transform dot position equals, and what are we doing specifically? Well, we're actually going to be doing a vector3 dot lerp. So we're going to have, and this is going to be interesting, and I'm going to get a red error, but I'm expecting this. So we're going to have the player trans, and we want to have the, or actually I need to do the camera trans, because we want to take the position of the camera, and we want to lerp it to the player trans, and then we're going to say how fast do we want to do this. Well, we're actually going to want to do this pretty quick. We're actually going to say 4 times time dot delta time. So as I said, we're going to get errors. Why are we getting errors? Well, the reason why we're getting errors is because this is a vector3 lerp. This is a transform. So now we need to say vector3, and we're going to say player vec, and we'll have camera vec. And so we're going to say start. And so now is what we're going to do is we're going to tell it like, okay, this vector will equal this transform. So the way we do that is we'll say player vec equals player trans dot position. But now this is going to give us another interesting error. And the interesting error that this will give us is that the camera will snap directly to where the player is at. And so the way we fix that, .x, and we will do one for .y. Now it's kind of important to remember. And the camera doesn't matter at all. It'll just take its current transform value. So we'll say camera vec equals camera trans dot position. And so now we can literally take the camera vec, pop it in here, player vec, pop it in here, done. If you want to be more specific, you can actually say player vec dot z equals camera trans dot position dot z. And you can do it that way. It's probably best to do it that way. Completely optional though. And so now we have this camera follow script. So what are we going to do with this? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to click on this game object right here. We're just going to paste it in here. And so we're going to have the cameras. And then we need the player. And so if I save this scene and hit play, the camera should snap to the player. If it snaps to the center of the player, that means I have my... Oh, hey, that's actually working. I'm actually kind of impressed with that. I'm guessing y'all used a 3D capsule on this little character. Alright, so that's actually really interesting. So, variable SR. What are these errors? Let's see. Box collider rigid by 2D. Oh, I guess y'all did do a 2D collider on these, didn't you? No, these are 3D colliders. Huh, that's interesting. That's actually really interesting. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at this real quickly. So we're going to drop the sprite renderer. This should fix that issue. SR. Okay, so I don't care about that then. So let's go ahead and see what's going on here. Make sure this is working. Okay, so now we need the player attack. So I'm actually going to duplicate this. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Left. Right. Player. We have right. And then we have left. And now I need my scripts attached to this. So I'm going to come in here. Player scripts. And this is going to be player attack. And then I need my game object for that. So now I'll click back on here. Player left. Player left. There we go. And then we have go attack, which is a game object, which we don't really need that anymore. So we should be good there. Let's see if we get any more errors. Once I get these errors fixed, and then I'm going to go ahead and figure out the camera issue. Okie dokie. Yay. There we go. Yay. Bombs away. Alright, so that is working. Not quite the way I want it to in here, but it is working. So now we need to get this lerping, and for some odd reason it is not. So we have 4 times time.delta time. Yeah, that is actually... This should be lerping. Should lerp straight to the player vec, so that's player trans out position. So that should work. In fact, if I put this at 1, it should just stick to the player. So let's make sure it sticks to the player. Okay, so it's not... It needs to get called every frame. So it's only doing it for the first frame. And after that, it's like, screw you. So let's go ahead and set this real quick. We're going to say 4 times time dot delta time. Save. As long as it's getting called every frame, then maybe, possibly, question mark, I don't know. That's what it looked like to me. Is that once it got those transforms, it's like, okay, I'm done. There we go. So now we need to work on the... I keep saying we. Y'all are probably like, what's this we? Yeah, that's the we. So let's go ahead and fix the player running. Oh, I need player movement to be checked out. So let me go ahead and check that out real quick. Assets. Let's see. So we have scripts. There's player attack. Where's player movement? Here we go. Check out. Okie dokie. Come back in here. We have player movement. And I also need to check out player attack too while I'm at it, so that way I can fix that, which should be pretty easy. Player attack. There we go. Check out. Okie dokie. Come back in here. And so now is what I want to do is for player movement, I seem to recall having to hold down shift. The first thing I want to do is I want to check to see if I'm getting the input for horizontal or not. And so I'm actually going to copy those and paste them in here. And that should fix that. Next thing I want to do is I am... what was it? Running speed. Lerp. That's what it was. So this did not work. And for the life of me, I could not figure out why. But let's go ahead and set our speeds and see what kind of interesting errors we're getting. Because all of this is set in here. And so we have the min run speed and the max run speed. And of course, we have running speed up here. And we have speed X is defined as running speed. Well, no, that shouldn't matter. Because if we come in here... Oh. Speed X. So there we go. So let me come down here. I'm actually going to change this to 10. That is really interesting. So it's definitely getting the minimum run speed. Because what I need to do... There we go. Is what I need to do is... Because the running speed is what defines everything. And speed X is what will equal the running speed. So now that I'm getting this... Well, it shouldn't have mattered. It should have still been getting this up here. Because if we set this to 1... we should see a 6 for the max run speed. Come on. What was the issue? I think it was something about holding down both buttons and shift. Yeah, so that's fixed now. I no longer have that issue that I did yesterday. So that's a plus. Alright, so run speed is 6, so that's definitely working. I'm just going to say time to max run speed times time delta time. So delta time should lerp this because delta time is always counting up. And even if this is at 0.5 and delta time, say, goes up to 10, it should still increase in speed, so I do not understand why it is not. I don't understand why it's only staying at 5, so that is something I'm going to have to look up. And you know what? That is driving me crazy. We need to make it where the player starts off where they can jump. So we have down here, can double jump equals true. We're going to come up here, start, can double jump equals true. So the reason why I'm doing that, because if the player doesn't have their power up, it won't really matter. I don't think it will anyways. Let me see. Jump is grounded. Can double jump. So, okay, that one actually has to equal false starting off. But is what we can do. Let me see. Come down here. Double jump power up equals true. Can double jump equals true. There we go. So as soon as you get the power up, you'll immediately be able to start double jumping without having to jump one time and then be able to double jump. So I need to look up mathflerp for the API. Flerp. Let's see. Why is it pulling up? Am I in the wrong? Oh, I am in the wrong thing. That's pulling up vector. That's why. Duh. Okay, here we go. Alright, so... Oh, but those are quaternions. I don't want to do rotation. The hell, Unity? Okay, so yeah, that doesn't help me out a whole lot. That's awesome. So I think that's what I need to do is I actually need to create something for this. Current time, and I want that to equal... I want it to equal something. Trying to think on how I can do this without it just totally screwing up the code. I'm actually going to say time to max run speed times time dot delta time. This will need to be a float. I should be able to copy this and paste it in here. Let's see if that works. I don't know if it will or not. But at this point, I'm willing to do anything. Sure, I've changed it to a vector 2. So it's still... That is really weird. Because having time.delta time, it should be going from this one to this one. I wonder. Surely not. Okay, wait, I screwed up somewhere. Ah. There we go. So I'm actually going, instead of incrementing, I'm actually going to decrease it and see what happens. So this should be actually really interesting. So yeah, run speed is at a 3.5 even. Wait a minute. I think I just figured it out. So we have the min run speed and max run speed. Where are you at? No, I set those up there. So the issue that we're having is it's actually resetting every time that it can. And that's why we're getting this issue. That's exactly why we're getting this issue. So it took me a second to realize this just now, but we have this set up here, which is fine, but we're using movement speed X. Alright, so what's basically going on, the short version, it's lerping back to itself. So it'll start to tick, but then it'll go right back to the beginning. That's because we're getting called every single frame. And so now I need to try and figure out how to get past that. I've never done this before, so this is a learning process for me. Yay! So that is something we do not need. Well, you know what? I'll keep it there just because. So if we're moving and we hold down Shift, this is what we want to do, but we don't want it to reset. And so we have running speed, which will be speed X equals running speed. And otherwise, it will equal just regular speed. What if we say screw that, drop that in here. This will still have the same issue, but nothing is being set to running speed. Then we can come and... I don't want speed X. Because what I will do is say speed X times. So I'll do it that way. I guess I could also do a math clamp. That'd be another way of doing it. So we have our running speed. I'm going to try and do it as a clamp. That might be a lot better and a lot less buggy. So if we do running speed equals mathf dot clamp, I'm going to say min run speed max run speed. Oh. But it's a float. Oh, I can't use itself, that's why. So I'm going to say movement speed then, because that's what we're doing. So then after that, we're going to say is running equals true. We will then do this, but we don't need speed X. There we go. We don't need speed X in there though, so we can go ahead and get rid of that. Save. And I don't think we really need movement speed in there either. I don't think we will. Because we'll have running speed. Running speed will equal that, and that will be the movement speed. So yeah, we shouldn't need that. And let's go ahead and test this and see if it works. I'll be shocked if it does. So essentially is what should happen is she should move just a little bit faster in running, then she should go up to almost double the speed. Okay, so it doesn't matter which way I'm facing, she's going one direction. And the reason why, because we're using the min run speed and the max run speed, but we're not specifying if it's going one way or another. Okie dokie. So actually I'm going to say movement run speed, because that will invert it, and then I'll say run speed, then I'll say movement run speed, and paste that there, save. Why? Because it's unassigned. So I'm going to say 3.5 F. Save. Let's test this. Yeah, that's why I got the red squiggly line underneath that, because I hadn't saved it. Alright. Does this still do the same thing? Yep. Joy. Running speed. This will have to be multiplied by running speed. If I can spell, reason why it needs to be multiplied, because this will always be a positive value. Movement run speed uses the horizontal axis, and that will throw in a negative value, which is a value between 0 and 1. If we go one direction, it'll be -1 or +1, and that is what will make us move left or right. So I would definitely have to do it that way. Oh, I'm getting tired. Alright, so that looks good. I actually want to do a debug.log underneath this, so this way I can see exactly what is going on. So now is what I need to do is I need to have an alert between these. I still need to create a stupid lerp. So instead of doing it the lerp like I was doing up here, is what I'm going to do is I'm going to say running speed equals plus equals, and this will be time to max run speed. So I'm going to save that, and that should max out right there. Next thing I want to do is if running equals false, we're going to say, we actually want to say 3.5 F. So we have this float right here. We're actually going to create a special little float for it up here, since we are being specific. Control S. The reason why we're putting it up there instead of in here, because if we kept it in here, it would always stay at 3.5, and I do not want that. I want to be able to change those values whenever we're playing. So if I've done this correctly, we should see it increasing in number. Hopefully we do. Alright, sweet. So that seems to be working. Then we have our time to max. I want to say 0.1. So let me grab that. Land! There we go. So we can actually increase how fast she catches up to speed. That was a little fast. 0.05. There we go. That looks good. So 0.05 I think is going to be the value we're going to work with on that. Okie dokie. We also have the player attack. Have I checked that one out yet? I have checked that one out. Let's go ahead and fix that real quick. It is not the... It's the energy blast. That's what it was. This is what I need to fix now. So let me go ahead and check out the energy blast. check out. Okie dokie. Come back in here. And I'm going to... So I have this RB2D.addForce. Yeah, no. I'm just going to say transform dot translate, and we'll say speed 0, 0. And this will actually be speed times time dot delta time. And so the next thing we want to do, well, we already have the Rigidby, so it should, gravity should take over and do its thing. Because, you know, it's gravity. It does that. Gravity's so cool. So, if I've done this correctly, whenever we shoot... Oh, you bastard. And there it goes, flying way out. Okay, so that kind of works. Yay, it's kind of working. So, the reason why it's doing this, we actually need to create a variable. So, I'm surprised it stayed at 20. Huh, okay. So, for the energy blast, we're actually going to come up here. Public float, or I'm sorry, public bool is left. So then we can click on attack left. And this will make sense here in just a second. We'll click on attack left. Because these are two different things. This is energy blast. So I'm actually going to have to set that up, which is no biggie. If is left. Check this out. Bam! Negative. Alright, so now we have this attack PNG. And the issue we have with it is they are both the same. So we could create a left attack and right attack. Seems kind of obnoxious. So what I'm going to do, I actually want the player attack to call that. So I'm going to say, do I want to call it? I guess you can do it either way. I think I'm just going to do it the lazy way and just duplicate this. So this PNG right here will be left. This PNG will be right. Left will be marked as true. I'm going to click on left, and that will go in here. And then right, well, that one already has it, so we're good. Let's see if I need to flip these or not. Yay, it works. Whoa! You know, she can shoot way too fast. But for now, it's fine. It works. Okay, so I think that's all the issues we had from yesterday. At least that's all I can remember. Seems like I was supposed to do something else. I just don't remember what it was. Go ahead and save this script. I'm going to go ahead and save this scene. Control S. And I'm going to check all this back into Perforce. So if y'all have any questions, shoot me a message. I'll try to answer them as fast as I can. I will be up later tomorrow working on this, so hopefully y'all will see a lot more get done. Oh, that's something else I want to find out real quickly while I am on here. And you know what? I saw the sprite in here earlier for this. What is this? Oh, you already got it set up as a sprite 2D UI. Nice. Let's go and show an Explorer. Ooh, it's a PNG. Insert, open a new document. Ew. Ew. Get rid of that. And we will attack sprite. We only need one attack sprite. Why? Because I said so. More specifically, because, well, we can actually flip the sprite, and that's kind of why. I'm going to set this to 10. I'm actually going to do the airbrush. I want 10. There we go. Save. Yes. Unity. Then I'm going to come into... I forgot where I was going. I have my head up my ass. Somebody help me. Scripts, question mark? Yes, script. So we have right and we have left. So I'm actually going to click on both of these. Miss Sprites, drop this. Jim, you dumbass. Okay. Player scripts. Attack left, attack right, miss sprites. Drop this in right here. And then I'm going to go back into this. So we have left, which needs to be flipped, I think. Hey, guess what? Jimmy got it backwards. So we'll uncheck that one. We'll come in here, check this one. And I'm actually going to come into this. I'm going to set this to 50. Smaller number, bigger images. Bigger number, smaller images. Rule of thumb. There we go. Ah! Adrian! Okay, I'm done. So, yeah, there we go. I'm going to go ahead and add these to the thing, get these videos start uploading, and I'll see y'all later.